Hi there guys, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all keeping well. Hope you're all having a good week. Thanks a lot for tuning in again. Appreciate all your support as always. Today's video is all about the future of Dele Alli and whether his career, the rest of his career lies at Tottenham or elsewhere. Not sure if you saw the game yesterday, but Spurs progressed to the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup after beating Chelsea at White Hart Lane on penalties with a heavily rotated squad. I know the squad that Jose Mourinho put out for this game, the starting 11, was very, very surprised. Well, not really surprising when you consider that we've got a game against Maccabi Haifa in the Europa League on Thursday, which is tomorrow. Meaning that we've got 3 games in a little over 4 days. But obviously players like Jedson Fernandez was making his first appearance of the season, I think it was. Played without a striker, played Lamela up front. It was very, very heavily rotated squad, but the main talking point of the squad was no Dele Alli again. Now Dele, obviously a fan's favourite. He's done so well at the club in the 5 years that he's been here so far. So massive part of the the revolution under Pochettino, helping us get to a Champions League final. He's just done so much, scored a bag full of goals. He's a brilliant character around the training ground, as the Spurs documentary showed. But it looks like his time might be up at the club, given that he's now been left out of the last 2 matchday squads against Newcastle and Chelsea yesterday. Played a very, very stop-start part, in the actual first team squad this season. Obviously, played against is it Skendijar, I think it was. The North Macedonian team in the Europa League. But apart from that, he's not really contributed. He's not really played at all this season. And it looks as if Jose's had enough. Now, Jose was questioned about this yesterday before the game, asking why he wasn't in the squad. Very, very evasive. He avoided the question, just saying, I've got loads of players I need to pick from. You're not asking me about Sonny and a couple of others that aren't playing. But I think there's a deeper lying issue between the player and the manager here. I think it all started really when Pochettino got sacked and Jose Mourinho come in, and one of the first things that Mourinho did, I think it was the very first team meeting that Jose had with the players, basically called him out and called him a lazy effer. I don't think that necessarily got their relationship off to a best start. I don't know if you've seen the All or Nothing documentary, but Jose really seemed to make a beeline for him and call him out on his work ethic and his work attitude. So I did wonder at the time when I was watching it how Dele would respond to that, because he seems quite a volatile character, Dele, with his personality and his attitude. Not to say he's got a bad attitude, but I do wonder how that line of targeting from the manager would go down with Dele. Don't know if that's had a lasting effect on him and his relationship with Mourinho. Obviously in that All or Nothing documentary, it then flashes to a meeting where Jose has basically sat Dele down in a one-to-one meeting in his office and has said he wants to make him explode as a player, and he said how much he rates him and how much Sir Alex Ferguson wanted Mourinho to sign him at Man United and stuff like that, which was really interesting. But one thing that cannot be denied is that it has gone very stale for him at the club. You only need to see, his career stats since he joined from MK Dons back in 2015. His first season in the Premier League, he played 50 times, got 22 goals. That was in the 2017-18 season, sorry. And then in the last 2 seasons that he's played for the club, he's played 76 games overall in the last 2 years, and he's scored just 16 goals. So, despite that being still an all right record from attacking midfield, you can see the drop-off in goals, in influence that he's having on games. And something just doesn't seem right with him. Obviously, he's got a really long contract. He signed a 5.5-year deal. I think it was in 2018, end of 2018. Maybe it was a 6-year deal. So he's still got 4 years left to go. It doesn't expire until 2024. And without wanting to question his mentality and his desire and his hunger and his drive, does he want to be at the club anymore? Obviously him and a number of the other English lads such as Eric Dyer and Harry Winks had such a strong bond to Maurizio Pochettino. He was a massive part in helping Poch drag this club into the Champions League final, moving away from the stadium for a year, and I think it's 2 years in the end, wasn't it? Going to Wembley, coming back. He's been a really influential part of the last 5 or 6 years of Tottenham's history, and he's really, really highly regarded by the fans. And I just wonder, towards the end of Pochettino's reign, where it all went stale for a lot of the players after that Champions League final, and even before that, since last Christmas, really, Dele's been one of them who hasn't really contributed much towards the first team squad at all. I know that sounds really, really harsh, but you just need to have a look at him, and sometimes he just doesn't look interested in a game. His work rate's not there. You can see under Mourinho demands that every single player sweats buckets for the team. They run their hearts out, and if you don't do that, you get taken off and you miss games, and it looks like that's what's happened. I'd love to see exactly what sort of confrontation that him and Dele has had, because something's happened there for him to not even be on the bench for the last 2 games. There's definitely been a falling out. The talk that I think it's Paris Saint-Germain have been linked with him heavily. One thing's for sure is that Daniel Levy isn't going to let him go to another Premier League side. He's going to have to try and manufacture a move abroad, because I think his time is up at the club. So as well as being a Tottenham fan, I'm an England fan as well, and you want your best players internationally to do really well, which will ultimately help the team in the World Cups and the European Championships. So let's hope that Dele can get something sorted. If his head's not in it anymore and he does need a move away just to restart his career, I think that a lot of Spurs fans really wouldn't begrudge him moving on, as long as it's amicable and the finances are right. So it's a real shame to see it pan out the way it is. I just like I say, I just hope that he can get away, hopefully recapture his best form for another club, because one thing is for sure, that when a fully fit, fully focused Dele Alli is on it, he's one of the best attacking midfielders in the world, personally. He was unplayable for a couple of seasons for Spurs, and it's a shame to see him drop off. But, like I say, let's hope that, he can recapture his form for, another club, if it's not going to be Spurs, which it doesn't look like it's going to be now with the formation that Jose's playing with, Lo Celso and Ndombele. There doesn't seem to be a real spot for Dele. So let's see what happens. But I thought I'd give my opinion on it, because obviously it's a real hot talking point with Spurs fans and players at the moment. So let's see what happens. Let me know what your thoughts are. Do you want him to stay? Do you want him to go? Where do you think he'll go? What do you think's happened there with his relationship with Mourinho? And obviously subscribe to the channel. Follow me on my social media. Twitter's at East Terrace 0. Instagram is East Terrace Football. And until next time, keep safe, guys. Keep washing your hands and, keep aware. And I'll speak to you soon. Thanks very much. Bye.